Yan Yongqing, a priest of light, is currently in a serious condition, and he doesn't know why this happened. He immediately asked why all this happened. Caitlin, goddess of light, and Tagma, demon king, seen together. The party of Yen has lost because of the betrayal by the goddess, that humans cannot win this war, and she has made a decision. If the goddess had not betrayed his party, then this war would have been won by humans. The demon king immediately took action with Yen, who was only a healer himself. He flew Yen up with magic. And start aiming at the target, immediately to make an attack. Yen and his party were finally defeated by the goddess who worked with the demon king. On the verge of death, he gained power from the demon system. Yan Yingqing was reborn as a demon lord, and his basic stats were reset to level 1. Then he suddenly found himself in a strange place, and full of question marks. His new job: demon lord, skill demon summoning and enslave demon. He thought this was funny, even though his whole life he had been destroying demons under the name of light, but now he had become a demon lord. But suddenly a strange light came out of the large chest. Finally he took the opportunity to live as a demon lord, so that the betrayal could be avenged. He immediately went to the middle of the demon altar. The blue lightning from the altar approached the chest. The chest reacted to the blue lightning. Then began to reflect blue lightning light off each other. Then a large-scale lightning light surrounded the altar. Finally he was reborn as a demon lord. Several years have passed. This man is visiting Yan Yangqing's grave. He is a level 2 adventure warrior named Su Dingfeng, a friend of Yen. But suddenly he heard a familiar voice from behind. It turns out that he is Yan Yangqing. He experienced resurrection. Dingfeng was shocked by what he saw. Finally he cried because he had truly lost his best friend. Yen was shocked that it had been 5 years since he left. He also mocked Dingfeng because he was still a level 2 warrior. During the journey home, Dingfeng said that it was the goddess who saved the world. But it seems that Dingfeng knows that goddess is still hiding a lie, and will find out soon from Yen. But on the way, Yen didn't want to go home but wanted to go to a dungeon first. Finally they arrived, but when they got there they had to pay first to enter the dungeon. Level 1 dungeon tickets start at 10,000 gold plus an 80% box, and to him this was just robbery. But this mechanism is already official. The procedure is different from 5 years ago. He could not accept this, and was forced to leave. After fighting for thousands of years, humans managed to force them into the dungeon. Grand Mage Layla has sealed the dungeon entrance. But over time, the seal had a weakness, and the monsters managed to break the seal, then attacked the human world. More than 50 adventurers have entered the dungeon. But they has been wiped out, and only one was left, Yen. In the end they entered the dungeon by paying. Dingfeng also said that after the goddess declared victory over the demons, the guild made the dungeon no longer a threat, so they made it a money machine for beginners who wanted to level up. It was thanks to Dingfeng that Yen was able to enter this dungeon, and will repay him. He also wanted to know the plan that brought him to the dungeon. Yen has been reborn and his level has been reset back to 1, so he needs Dingfeng. It looks like a monster is coming from a distance. Level 1 minion, giant scorpion, approaches them. Dingfeng also knew that he had to cover Yen so that he could level up quickly, so he used his skill, space magic. He quickly ran towards the giant scorpion to immediately launch an attack. When approaching, Dingfeng managed to hold off the attack. With a quick movement he turned it into a quick slash that aimed at the scorpion's stomach. Finally, Dingfeng managed to defeat one giant scorpion. Yen told Dingfeng to bring more monsters. All the giant scorpions were successfully exterminated by Dingfeng and got a EXP. Because of Dingfeng's efforts, Yen managed to reach level 2. He will also show his demon conversation skills to Dingfeng. This would be a rare experience for him, as he would directly see the demon's skills. Demon conversation was also done by Yang. Red lightning was seen. The corpse of the scorpion is seen to show the reaction. A creature was seen rising from below. He was also surprised by that. The level 1 demon scorpion warrior successful to resurrect by Yen with his skills. Resurrection with demon skills is amazing, like human form. Yen told the demon to defeat the minions before the boss came. The 2 demon scorpions finally advanced to attack. The summoned demons can defeat all the minions easily. Yen worried about the system of fees for entering this dungeon, because newbies still definitely run out of money if they complete the dungeon. Suddenly something approached them. These 2 summoned demons were defeated by more powerful monsters. Yen was a little surprised by this. It turned out to be true, there was a strong monster there, which was definitely the dungeon boss. High-level boss Mole King Park Zerg. Dinfeng finally stepped forward to face the boss. But not this time. Yen will step forward to become the bait, because his attack is still weak. The monster began to attack fiercely. They also divided the tasks, Yen as mobility, and Dinfeng attacked directly. The monster chased Yen quickly. Until finally the attack was approaching him. He also tried to be patient and look for weaknesses. He used his demon skills to read the enemy's movements. Finally, Dinfeng was ordered to attack by Yen. He then moved forward quickly to attack. The sword thrust was successfully launched towards the monster. It turns out that the soul tremor that Yen carried out failed. The monster ran underground to hide. The resulting hole is quite deep. Dinfeng's attack was still weak and not enough. The strategy was made again, just like before. Yen was in charge of being the bait, and Dinfeng had to stab hard. Finally the monster's presence was near. Quickly the monster emerged from underground quickly. But with speed and fast reaction, Dinfeng was able to stab the monster. He successfully launched a powerful sword thrust attack at the boss. But unexpectedly the monster was still not defeated and was still moving. The monster started attacking using its hard claws. Dinfeng managed to withstand the attack, but his shield was destroyed. Until at the last moment the red aura came. The red aura coming from Yen was a demon skill to manipulate the movements of the monster, but it didn't last long. Finally, when the gap opened wide, Dinfeng then slashed at the monster. He managed to defeat the monster with a sword slash. Mole King Rark was defeated, and they got 200 EXP. They also get 2 items from defeating the boss, namely the Rark Shield and the Rark Dagger. He also started taking the items that were on the boss. They also managed to get good equipment. And they started to leave the dungeon. But when he came out, Yen protested that half of the prize had to be given to the administration after the 80% cut and the 10,000 fee to enter the dungeon. He also explained that he did not give it to free, but force him to sell it at a low price. Dinfeng told Yen to calm down and let this happen. But when Yen opened his demon eyes, he saw an evil aura behind the human body. An aura like there was a demon hiding behind that body. They were all the man's subordinates too. Something was wrong. They left the place. But when they wanted to leave, they were asked to give the dagger and shield equipment as compensation for their rudeness. But that's all they have now, so Yen tells Dinfeng to give them equipment. With a face full of anger, he will get the equipment back. Evening arrived, there was a building there. They were seen relaxing in the building. They heard news about some adventurers who had gone missing recently in the dungeon. In a room there is a disgusting aura. Aura coming from the administrative man. Suddenly they heard something fall from outside. It turns out that a large rock hit the car there. The action was done by Yen. It seems like he is going to do something. Inside they were shocked by what they saw. Soul tremor, a skill of manipulation control, affects the person. Quickly, Yen jumped high to attack immediately. The person's attention was successfully diverted. Which finally Yen managed to kick one of them. A decisive kick was successfully launched. After kicking he will do a second attack. This person did not remain silent, he immediately did a fireball attack. But quickly Yen ran over to the man. And with a quick attack of his dagger, he managed to defeat the man. In an instant 3 people were defeated. At the same time he activated Soul Tremor to the rest of the troops. Until finally they get hit. They were confused about what was happening. He managed to defeat all the troops in an instant. He immediately entered a room that had a disgusting aura. He was shocked by what he saw. The administration man was there. Yen knows that the man is a parasite in the human body, and now he will defeat him. But he will put up a fight too, and the battle will begin. The man began to use his fireball ability. The attack was directed at Yen, but he was already prepared to avoid the attack. After dodging, he prepared to attack using a dagger. Yen carried out a series of slashing attacks with dual daggers, and his opponent couldn't do much. Even though he was previously registered as a healer, his movements are very agile. Finally, with good attack speed and reflexes, he managed to hit the enemy. He was also injured due to the series of attacks that Yen carried out. The follow-up attack was still ongoing, he began to quickly run the enemy. But an unexpected incident happened, a big hand came out of the mouth. He was surprised by that. Level 2 Elite Demon, Burner Pondi, the parasite finally came out of the body, and revealed its true form. Entering the adventure level 2 body is very boring. Yen need to act while distracted, quickly cast a spell, Enslave Demon. But suddenly he disappeared, before the skill hit the enemy. He avoided it at full speed. At full speed, the demon showing speed capabilities beyond the limit. Until finally the opportunity came. The demon's attack was successfully avoided by Yen by his good reflexes. But the demon's attack if it hits can melt objects. He also has to be careful in the future, if he gets infected it could be fatal. He thought of another plan and ran away from that place. The demon chased Yen at full speed. Hellfire ability with special effect of burn duration. He continued to search for Yen's whereabouts in the forest. Yen suddenly made a surprise attack from above. Yen's fatal attack with the dagger was successfully avoided by the demon. But at the same time he managed to injure the enemy's leg. The demon immediately tried to cast spell Yen. But he calmly managed to avoid the fireball attack. After that he ran again away from the enemy. But the demon continued to chase with high speed. Finally the enemy managed to approach Yen and prepared to attack immediately. A series of fireball attacks were launched. The series of attacks were successfully avoided by running quickly. Then the scale caused by the fireball attack is also large. Until finally he reached a rocky road. It looks like the road is clogged. And the demon has arrived at that place. Finally the demon began to gather heat energy to attack immediately. The demon began to launch a large-scale attack, namely the Time Inferno Cannon. A powerful fire attack was successfully launched. As a result, the surrounding area was completely destroyed. But suddenly a vibration occurred in the area. From below it can be seen that there is a big upheaval happening. The demon was successfully captured by a monster controlled by Yen. But the demon still insisted on breaking free from the monster's grip. The chain began to bind the demon's neck. Finally, Yen successfully used the Enslaved Demon skill, and made the level 2 demon under his control. It seems that the demon has reacted as a result of the Enslaved Demon. He then started talking about all the items that the demon had taken to take out. Shield, some weapons, and lots of gold bars. The demon was under control and had complied with the request. But the chain suddenly broke. The system warns of a danger sign of a broken chain. The demon managed to break free from control and prepared to fight. From close range the demon unleashed a large fireball skill. But he quickly managed to reflex his body to immediately counterattack. Quickly using his dagger, Yen managed to counterattack well and quickly. Level 2 Demon Burner Ponoi was defeated by Yen and got 300 EXP. Yen then started using his skills again to resurrect the demon. Demon space successfully done. Finally, Level 2, the Demon Burning Ponoi was successfully resurrected and made into an army. Yan's order is to search for unregulated dungeons because low-level dungeons are monopolized by the Roger guilds.